Here we are. I think we are live. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? It is Heather from More Than Fitness Golf Performance. And here we are at the Saturday golf workout, actually in the More Than Fitness Facebook page. Today we're going to cover mobility and a test that I'm going to show you that you can do at home because why not? That way you know the areas of your body that aren't working as well as they could and the reasons why you want to work on these areas and maybe gain some more movement, um, get your range of motion better and bigger, because often it's these simple things that cause you pain while you're out there playing golf or even after the game. So, you know what? Why not play pain free? And, some simple mobility exercises are really going to help you out. But first of all, how do you know which ones to do if you don't even know the areas that you're lacking? Okay. So, there are 4 areas in your body that are really important for your golf swing. Your neck, okay, that's the first area, your cervical region, your upper back or your thoracic region, because that determines, how well do you turn. How well do your hips rotate? So when you go into your backswing, you load into your trail leg, or if you're a right-handed golfer, your right leg. And if you can't turn in that hip joint really, really well, it has an effect on you and your golf swing. You can't get a big turn. And also shoulder rotation, right? How well can you get your arm back here so that you can get into the slot and keep your golf club on plane? So we're going to cover those 4 things today, and I'm going to explain to you why they're important for your golf swing, and you'll have all the answers, or you'll have some of them. Okay, so I'm going to move back here. Hopefully I stay in focus. Way back here. Okay, so first thing, you can do this sitting or you can do it standing up. It doesn't really matter. But you want your neck, first important thing, to be able to rotate from side to side. If it doesn't, it causes you to move off the ball. So think about it. If your head doesn't stay here, when you turn your shoulders, you're going to go this way, right? So first test. Take your head. Make sure that your eyes stay nice and level. Turn your head as far as you can to the right, and then drop your chin down. Keep your mouth closed. And touch your collarbone. And back up again. Okay? Now, over to the left. Drop your chin down. And touch your collarbone. Your shoulders stay flat. Your mouth stays closed. How did you do? Okay? You should be able to turn your head and touch your collarbone. If you can't, what's going to happen in your golf swing? Like I explained a minute ago, if your head doesn't stay here over the ball, because look, what happens when I rotate my shoulders, if I'm a right-handed golfer, into my backswing, that's touching here on my left collarbone, right? So if that was one of the ones that you failed, then as a right-handed golfer, not so good. If you're a left-handed golfer, you want to make sure you can touch your right collarbone because that's your backswing. If you can't, then in order to keep your eye on the ball, you're going to have to stand up. Okay? Reverse pivot. If you're here and your head's going this way, but you want to stay on the ball, your eyes are going to be here and you're going to end up going into your backswing this way. Okay? Here, and you got to keep your eye on the ball. So a dreaded reverse pivot. You're going to stand up, and guess what? That ends up in back pain. What's the most common injury in a golfer? Back pain, lower back pain. And often it's in the lower right side. All right. Next, we're going to do thoracic spine or your upper back. Okay? To do that, I want you to put your feet and your knees together. Put your hands crossed on your shoulders, keeping your feet and knees together. Okay, so if you sit on the edge of a chair, so you can rotate around, I want you to turn all the way you can to the right, just like you would in your backswing. and then come back to the middle and go all the way around to the left. Okay, the minimum, so here I am. If I was turning at 90 degrees, if I start here, my shoulders would end up all the way around like this, okay? So if I'm here and I get this much, that's about 45 degrees. That's the absolute minimum that we want to see your shoulders turning in order for you to get a good backswing and a good follow through. So if I'm here, that's the absolute minimum. We really would like to see 55 or 60 degrees, so even more of a rotation around. Guys usually struggle with this just because of their physiological makeup. They're a little bit thicker and stiffer up top. Women usually can get 60 or 70 degrees, no problem. What does this do if you don't get to at least 45 or 50 degrees, which is the bare minimum? If you can't rotate your shoulders in order to get the club up into your backswing, you're going to lift your hands way up in the air. Okay, so instead of coming here and being on plane, your hands come up. Well, your hands are already up, and on the outside, guess what? The dreaded over the top. And if you swing the golf club over the top, what happens to the ball? You get that lovely peeling fade, banana fade, slice. The other thing that you'll do is if you can't rotate your shoulders in order to get your club back, you'll sway off the ball or once again, stand up. Do you find that you hit behind the ball? Do you find that you top the ball? Might be one of the reasons. Okay, next, hip rotation. So you're going to put your feet about shoulder width apart, keep them on the floor. Okay, I'm going to line up my knees, pretend that they're here, they're not going to move. And I'm going to take my knee, I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to lift my foot just off the ground, okay? And I'm going to turn it out as far as I can, keeping my knee in the same spot, okay? And then I'm going to bring it back. And if we had a line, we draw a line. We want to see, 40 degrees here. I know my right side is better than my left side. Let's go with my left side. Not quite as good, but there you go. Okay, when you're doing this, I don't want to see you leaning to the side to get that elevated foot up. Try and keep your shoulders in the same spot, your hips in the same spot, and just rotate your foot out. I keep doing the one I can do better. Okay, and then the other side, rotate that one out. So your knee stays at 90 degrees when you're doing this. That's the secret. Okay, what happens if you can't rotate into your hips? Well, if I can't, in your backswing, think about it. Here I have my golf club. I'm turning, if I'm a right-handed golfer, I'm turning into my right hip. So turn, okay? If I can't rotate into that hip joint, how am I going to get the golf club back? I'm going to, maybe I'm going to lean back because I can't turn. On the follow through, guess what's going to happen if I can't, as a right-handed golfer? Okay, if you are a left-handed golfer, just switch them around. When I'm coming through and I want to finish, if I can't pivot into that left-hand side and rotate around, I'm going to slide. Where does my impact position go? Well, now it's way in front of the ball. I lose my posture. I become upper body driven instead of lower body driven. I end up with back pain because I can't rotate this way. I'm going to go this way. Now I pinch in the lower back. And guess what? Where's the ball go? I push it out to the right. I block it out to the right. Or you try and really recover well with your hands and you snap hook it out of bounds. Okay. Last one. I'm going to move this stool out of the way. Okay, last of your four, your shoulders. Okay. Oh, and then we're going to go back. Okay, hang on. Shoulder rotation. All right. Why is shoulder rotation important? Think about it. If I'm in my golf posture and I've got my golf club up here, you want to keep your elbow in, right? The dreaded chicken wing that happens out here, that's because people don't have good rotation in their shoulders. What else happens? When you come down into impact, you want to be able to have that elbow in. And if you don't have good rotation in your shoulder, that doesn't happen, right? You flip your hands in order to get the club down to where it needs to be. Here we go. Stand like you're that guy at the crosswalk holding the stop sign, okay? 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. I'm going to practice this, first of all, just standing up. With your hand, with your arm here in this position, keep your elbow in the same spot and rotate your hand as far back as you can. Now, hang on, let me show you. Just a sec. Okay. If this stick, that shows you what my spine angle is, right? Okay, that golf shaft, if I put it over here, you can see. There we go. Okay, I can rotate my arm at a different angle than what my spine angle is, right? My spine's pretty much going straight up and down and my arm goes back. Okay, now you figured out how to do it that way. Get into your golf posture and put your arm out to the side and do the same thing. It's a little bit harder, but if you drew a line down your spine and then measured your arm, how would that look? Okay, change around and do that's on your backswing. You want to have that rotation. Now, if you go ahead and do the other side, same thing, keep your elbow in the same spot and just rotate your arm back. And then try it again. When you get into your golf posture, get your arm up and your elbow up and rotate it around. Now, I've talked about before there's an app you can get for your phone. It's called V1. Victory 1, V1. And that app, I think you can get the free version, and it allows you to draw lines so you can actually really measure the angles that you're doing. So get the V1 Golf app, you film yourself, it allows you go on camera and you video yourself, and then you can actually draw a line to see if you can rotate how much you should be able to rotate. And when you're doing your hip rotation, checking your hip rotation, you can draw a line and you can actually measure the angle so that you know if you're passing or failing. All right, so there's your home assessment. And I'm going to show you a really cute, really cool exercise first. All right, so your home assessment. So all 4 of those areas you should be able to pass. And I'm going to tell you that hip rotation is the second most common one that people fail, and shoulder rotation. They affect your golf swing. They're simple to fix. You can fix them probably in 3 or 4 weeks by doing, the proper exercises. Take 5 or 10 minutes each day. And I'm going to have that over in the Saturday Golf Workout group. I'm going to have a printout with links to videos on those exercises. So if you failed any of those 4, you'll be able to go in there and say, okay, I failed this one, so I need to do this exercise. I failed that one. Even if you didn't, you can always improve on your mobility, right? Okay, first thing. So since the thoracic spine is one of the ones that people struggle with and turn at a really, really quick fix, okay? So if you put your hands on your shoulders like this and you turn as far as you can to the right, what I want you to do is take your left shoulder, stay in that turned position, take your left shoulder and bend it toward your left knee and come up and then turn a little bit more. Amazing, isn't it? You can turn a little bit more. Okay, so once you've turned a little bit more, bend down, breathe out, come back up, and you can turn a little bit more. In that position, go down, and then come back up and turn a little bit more. All right, come back to the middle. Let's turn to the left now. So turn all the way around. Take your right shoulder down towards your knees. Come up, turn. Breathe out when you're turning. And come down. And turn a little more. It's amazing how this works. Breathe down. Come back up. And turn a little bit more. Back to the beginning. There you go. That is one of the exercises to help you improve your mobility. You know what? The sun is shining today. Why don't we do one more? How about shoulder rotation? All you need is a door. So I'm going to put this out of the way. Okay, pretend this is a door. You're going to put your elbow up here on the inside of the door. Okay? You're going to press your wrist forward into the door for 1, 2, 3. And then just lift your wrist off. Try not to press your elbow into the door. If that hurts, you can move a little closer to the door. If you find it's fairly easy, step ahead just a hair, because then you'll get a little bit more stretch in your chest or your pec region. Okay? So press your wrist into the door and then lift your arm off. You shouldn't have any pain in your shoulder. And then lift your arm off. And then make sure you go over and do the other side. Okay? No pain. If you got pain in your shoulder, stop. Not so good. Move in. Give yourself a move in closer. That's a little easier. The farther away you get, the harder it is. Keep your chest square. Okay, press in with your wrist and lift your arm off. Press in with your wrist. 1, 2, 3, and lift your arm off. And do this 5 times each side. Okay? There you go. How was that? So I just showed you today your home golf assessment for mobility in those 4 major rotational centers. Okay? Your neck, your thoracic spine or your upper back, hip rotation, and shoulder rotation. So such important areas. If you want to hit the ball farther, if you want to play golf pain-free, and you just want to feel better in golf and in everyday life, these 4 areas are something that you need to work on. And really simple exercises like I showed you today, right? Couple of things. If you went back now and you did your shoulder rotation exercise, I bet you'd get a larger range of movement. Okay. What else can I tell you? You know what? I just want you guys, I've given you these tools today, this assessment that you can do, because now you can figure out what areas you need to work on. I want to make sure that golfers play golf for as long as they can and as well as they can and enjoy it, right? As much as they can. So I'm giving you these tips and helping you out, and I want to make golf good for you, golf for everybody. Go ahead and they aren't there yet, but I promise the links will be up by Monday morning, because I'm going to give myself today and tomorrow to finish it up. But over in the Saturday golf workout group, the exercises, the pass and fail parameters will be in there so that you can work on these 4 rotational elements that are so important in golf. Mobility is huge. Strength is huge. Power, there you go. It all goes together. But if you don't have the mobility, then you're not going to be able to get the most out of the strength that you have. You can get stronger. If you think about it, like I explained last week, doing a bicep curl. If you only did a bicep curl and you lifted the weight this much, but if I can straighten my arm out and I can go all the way up, just think how much more. I've got a larger distance. It's like an on-ramp. Right? It's like if I had 50 yards to go as fast as I could, or I had 500 yards to go as fast as I could, I'd be going a lot faster at the end of the 500 yards because I've got that much more time to ramp up. Same goes with your mobility. If you have a larger range of movement, right? If you've got more mobility, you have a longer time and a longer ramp to go faster. Go faster, hit the ball farther. Simple. Okay, everybody, that's all for me today. I am Coach Heather of More Than Fitness Golf Performance, and I am so glad you joined me today, whether it was live or whether it was on the replay. And reminding you to go join the Saturday Golf Workout group if you haven't already. And I'll see you again next week. Bye now.